and welcome back to the channel. So this is part 2 of the traditional, well, Trad Tuesdays, and it's still with Palmer's Brewery in Bridport, because at the moment I'm on holiday in West Bay, which is basically part of Bridport on the Jurassic Coast. The brewery is probably less than a mile behind the camera. There's 3 pubs in the bay. There's the George, there's the West Bay, and there's the Bridport Arms. Been in all 3. I've had a pint in all 3, and yeah, nice beer on cask. But this one is going to be bottle beers, and I've got 2. I've got Tally Ho, and I've got the 200. So 2 different beers. The Tally Ho I've not seen on cask anywhere, and it's a dark, strong ale. And I wanted to do this video whilst I was still here in West Bay. I wanted to do it out on location, but tonight we decided to do it just outside the caravan because it's a bit breezy, a bit windy over on the coast there, so probably a lot easier to do the video here. So I wanted to give a bit of history. So Palmer's Brewery, like I say, it's a mile away from the Jurassic Coast. It originated, well, it was founded in 1790 by Samuel Gundry on its current site at the southern end of Bridport at the convergence of a river and the River Asker. 1830s, brewery was taken over. Great Reform Act, and brewery taken over by a new partnership headed by Samuel Bowden Grundy, who held the freehold for the site. There's a wine shop. 1836. There's a wine shop still there now on site, just right next door to the brewery. I don't know if that's still the same wine shop, but it's still there. A wine shop right next door. Been in a couple of times. 1850s, only 2 partners, Samuel Bowden Gundry and George Templar. 1860s, production and export expansion, 12 ales being produced and exported to India, Australia and Canada. 1864, Bridport Old Brewery Company Limited, which is, I think we're getting to the point now, Bridport Old Brewery Company Limited took over the running of the company. 70% of the shareholders were based in London. The company underwent a period of investment with new buildings on the old brewery site and the acquisition of 5 new pub leases. In 1866, it went into liquidation. The company went into liquidation. 1867, the Legg family brewery, the brewery bought by the Legg family, a farming family from Lytton, Cheney. I don't know if that's local to here. I've not heard of that one. 1870s, the installation of the brewery's water wheel, which I've got. I might be able to put it on here if I can do it at all. Been past the brewery loads of times, done the walk from West Bay to Bridport, and you can go past the water wheel right alongside the brewery, so if I can get that, I'll put that on here. 1890s, new partnership established, private partnership of John Cleves and Robert Henry Palmer. So that's why we're getting to Palmer's now. 1897, construction, corrugated cover yard, the new office block that forms the south-east facade of a brewery was added. A bottling line was also installed in 1897. 1910, First World War. 1917, 2 of Cleve's sons died during the First World War, both in 1917. His eldest son, Henry Robert Cleves, Bob, was head brewer at Adnams Brewery in Southwold. 1918, George Biles commissioned to paint first Palmer's pub sign, an association that continued until his death in 1987. 1920s, ordered the first motorised dray from chassis from Bonefield's Body by Oxenbury's. A 1-ton Ford lorry by 1923, only 1 horse-drawn dray left in use, which continued in service until 1949. 1928, a few months before the death of Cleves Palmer, his son Bob came home to Bridport. 1930s, sole ownership. 1935, Bob Palmer became a sole owner following the death of Henry Palmer 2 years earlier. 1839, new brewer and vessels. Tony Palmer joined the business as a brewer. New plant added to the brew house. Fermentation vessels added. In the 1940s, 1949, Tally Ho was launched. And what does it say? 1950s, then came Palmer's IPA. I had that on draft in the West Bay pub. That Bob Palmer became consultant, Tony Palmer became sole proprietor in 1960s. Casking changes, 18 months transition away from oak to stainless steel in 1968. 1969, John Palmer joined the brewery. 70s, 76, Palmer's became a limited company. In the 80s, Cleves Palmer joins the company. John Palmer appointed MD and Cleves Palmer was appointed as sales director in 1983. 85, Palmer's wine store opens on main brewery site. That's the one I've been to. Bridport Sports Centre gift. So basically in 1986 the gift of land to value of £333,000 to Bridport Sports Trust to finance the building of a Bridport Sports Centre. So doing stuff for the community. 1994 along came the 200, which is the bicentenary, and Palmer's 200 launched to commemorate it. 2000s Dorset Gold. I had that one in the Bridport Arms. That was a lovely beer. The Copper Ale, I've had that in the George. And 2015 Palmer's 200 Crown Champion bottled beer for South West of England. And then we're going all the way up to 2016 Tally Ho wins silver. And all the way up to 2019 Brewery celebrates its 225th anniversary and John Palmer's 50th year in the industry. So the reason why it's in Trad Tuesdays, and it's a family run still to this day. Palmer's are running it. There's a Palmer's associated with it, so there's not many of them, like I say, in the UK at the moment, but this is one of them. It's local to where I am at the moment, and that's the whole reason why I want to include it. So let's crack this Tally Ho open, and like I say, it is a dark strong ale. Got it in a small glass. You can see that in this light anyway. Let's just knock anything off there. So we're pouring a nice mahogany colour. It's got a nice red hue going through it. It's got a cap just about keeping all of that cap. Let's go in for the taste. Smell is like dark fruits. Nice. I'm certain you can smell the yeast on these Palmer's beers. But yeah, that's dark fruits, a little bit malty, and then I'm certain there's a yeasty aroma there as well. It smells really inviting. What's the ABV of this one? 5.5%. Okay, cheers. Let's go in. Oh, that's cracking. That's treacle. It's toffee. There's a slight bitterness. There's a plumminess. Some dark fruits there for definite. That's really good. Carbonation's really low. And it's got a nice sweetness there, an underlying sweetness, and it really makes you want to go back for more. That is fantastic. It's a really good beer. Like I say, I'm not going to score these ones. I just wanted to talk more about the brewery and the beers, and just to give them a nod. And that is a superb beer from Palmer's, Tally Ho Dark Strong Ale, and it's absolutely fantastic. It really is. I'll drink that and we'll come back and try the Palmer's 200. Okay, so I just wanted to try and show you the colour of that Tally Ho. Like I say, it's a nice dark mahogany colour, and it's tasting absolutely superb. What we've got to do now is move on to the Palmer's 200 beer, which we've got a little jug pot here. This is a premium ale. Let's crack this one open. What percentage are we looking at on this one? 5%. So let's see what this one's tasting like. These both cost me, by the way, about £2.90 a bottle. This is pouring a little more like copper coloured. And yeah, so this is more copper, more like a what you class as a bitter, if you can see that. It's looking absolutely gorgeous as well. You have to excuse the glasses. I am in a caravan, it's dead hard to get them. Superb. So yeah, there's a beer in a glass. Looks like a nice copper colour to me, especially in this light. The aroma is really, it's really malty. but there's definitely another back note of yeast. There's a yeast that's running through the beers for me. It's a pleasant yeast. It's not off-putting, it's a nice pleasant yeasty aroma, and it's backed up by some malty, like Marisotta notes. Okay, so this one's 5%. Cheers. Well, that's sweet toffee, caramel. That's really easy drinking for 5%, I must say. It's so easy drinking. That's a lovely beer as well. That's my kind of beer, it really is. It's like a really good bitter, you know, traditional bitter. That's what that reminds me of. That's superb, it really is. So I've had the 200, I've had the Talio in bottles, like I say, about £2.90 a bottle. Superb brewing. I just want to give a nod to these traditional breweries, these family run, still traditional brewers as well in the UK. So that's the end of the Palmer's ones. See you next time. Trad Tuesday. I'm not too sure what it's going to be, but thanks for watching and cheers.